Hi everyone, Moise here, back with another video, and today you guys can see my camera's a little bit different. I've rotated it. Let me know how you guys like this setup. I do have like more videos that are pre-recorded before this one that are gonna come out after, so if you guys do like this way better, it will eventually change, but if you like the other way better, then obviously I can just continue doing that. But anyway, today we're going to be doing my November favorites, and the reason I wanted to do my November favorites for you all is because, well, I've been literally using like the same 4 palettes for like the past 2 months, and then I've recently just incorporated my new palettes that I got in October, beginning of November. Forgetting days already. Love that for us. But I really just wanted to do it to give you guys full, like, honest reviews on some palettes after I've tried them and I've been using them consistently and trying different looks with them and really trying to make them work for what they're worth. And I think it's really helpful, especially if you're a beginner and you're trying to find palettes that are easy to work with versus harder or more intermediate. And so with all the palettes here, I don't think I'm particularly in love with any of them. So I want to just put that right out there for everyone here. So all of these palettes are not my favorite. I think there are some that are better than others and some that are definitely not as good as they can be. And so I just want to make that little bit of a disclaimer. My favorite palette still is my Drugstore palette. I think for someone with a darker complexion like myself, someone who's a beginner at makeup like myself, I'm like tapping my fingers with this. I really do love the Drugstore palette. I will always recommend it based on just my experience using it when I was at home and how much I miss it now. I think it's a really, really good palette. Now let's get into the palettes that I actually do have here with me. And so first, let's start with the palettes I've been using for the past few months before we get into our newer palettes, just to have a little bit more of a fair advantage. And so first, I wanted to share the Zodiac Aquarius palette. I think I've almost had this for 2 years now, and I really haven't made that much of a dent in it, and that isn't because of the palette. I think the palette is great. I do think it blends a little bit too much in terms of like the colors kind of begin to turn into like a muddied colorscape, so I think this is more so if you're someone who likes dark, warm tones that doesn't want like to use all the colors. You want to use like one color or 2 colors because this blends really quickly and really easily, so that's not always a really good thing with a palette, especially if you're someone who likes to do more creative and colorful looks like myself. Another thing I want to talk about are these new view palettes. So what I've been noticing is a lot of people who have made videos of this palette, the cashmere palette and the rose palette, I believe. Both of these for me as a darker skin toned girl, woman, female, I particularly think these are okay. I don't think they're amazing. I don't think they're the best thing for someone of my skin tone, but I do think they work. I just don't know if they're worth the price, especially if you're someone of a darker complexion. From what I've seen based off of other YouTube videos, if you're a lighter complexion, these palettes might be better for you, and they're really fairly priced, I would say. I think I got these for like $12 or something on Etsy, so they're not bad and they're very well packaged, except I wish there was a mirror because I love mirrors in my palettes. I don't think these are for me. I think I'll continue to try to use them, and if I can't, I'll see if my little cousin, she's like 8 years younger than me, I think. I'm gonna say 8. I'm gonna see if she would want one of them. She's like my skin complexion, but since she's younger and she plays more, I think these are fairly decent for beginners, except the fact that these glitters are very loose, and if you're not good with glitter, you might hurt yourself. So that might be the only thing I have to tell her about if I give her these 2 palettes. Up next is my love-hate relationship palette, the tropical palette. We love the tropical palette. So this palette, I don't hate it, I don't love it. I think it's like one of the cheapest palettes I've ever had. I did this for my mom buys my makeup, and we just went to Walmart because that was like easy instead of going to Ulta. Because Ulta has way too many palettes to choose from for like my mom who doesn't like do her makeup all that much. And so she ended up choosing the tropical palette because she said I don't play with colors enough, which is true. I really love myself some pink, some nudes, and like some reds, and now I've recently got into yellows. And so what I've noticed with this palette is if you're going to be using this row in particular and like maybe playing around with these four, it's fine. But it's when you get into like lighter colors, so like the oranges and yellows and like maybe this like matte purple, is when the palette kind of lets you down because they're not super pigmented, and you can build these up, but it's so much work. And I think if you're a beginner and you don't want to spend a lot of money and you're not someone who uses like yellow and orange, I think this will be great for you. For me personally, I didn't love it because it doesn't work as nicely as the palettes I've been using at home. Mind you, at home my palettes are a little bit more expensive, just like this much. I really miss my palettes. I can't wait for winter break, but that's besides the point. So that's all I really have to say about the Tropical Glow palette. It's okay. It's not as nice. I think I would prefer the New View palettes over my Tropical palette, but the issue is these work better in tandem because this is more of my aesthetic, like the nudes and the pinks, but this one has better pigmentation and it has red, and I like red. Okay, I really like working with red. The darker colors, I don't like darker colors on me, but when I'm doing looks for videos, this helped me until I got my BH Cosmetic palettes recently. I'm sorry, we have so many palettes in this video. So the last two palettes we're going to talk about before moving into other products are my new ones. Wow. So first, let's go into the Drop Dead Gorgeous palette. I love the Drop Dead Gorgeous palette. My one issue with this palette is there is so much fallout. There is so much fallout when I just swipe my brush through it. It is so annoying. That is my gripe with this. Other than that, the colors are beautiful. I feel like some colors that look more shimmery or metallic actually don't look as metallic. If that's an issue you're gonna have, just so you know, it doesn't look as metallic. I don't like that it doesn't have a mirror because there's obviously space for a mirror, which would have been really, really nice. Because now when I do makeup with this, I use my digital feature mirror, and it's like, why? I think if you're a beginner, many bigger YouTubers than myself have said BH Cosmetics is good for beginners, and I think I would agree. As a beginner, intermediate, whatever you prefer to call me, I really like this palette. I just hate the amount of fallout that comes from this palette. Alright, our last palette of the video is the Digital Future palette. And the Digital Future palette, I think, works better if you're of a lighter skin tone than me. It is very nude, very much like something I would reach for, but the issue is none of these shades show up as well on me. And that's my gripe with this palette. I think it has beautiful colors, beautiful shimmers. I love these pinks and purples and blues, and I love how I can play with my my natural colors, and it's nice, but it's just not something myself as a darker skin tone can really work with as much as I can work with my Drop Dead Gorgeous palette, or I was gonna say my Tropical Glow. Depends. Tropical Glow. Don't get too hyped for that. So that's what I think of my Digital Future palette. And so my favorite palette right now of November is my Drop Dead Gorgeous palette. I've been using it for 3 weeks now, and I really love it. So I think I'm going to do today's makeup look with this palette. And I guess we'll play a little bit with these palettes because I still need to use a lot of these. As obviously you see, I haven't been going as fast through these palettes as I've wanting to because I have about 9-10 palettes at home. I really brought these palettes that I don't use a lot so I can start creating more looks with them, but they're just so hard to work with. So I think I'll use my Cashmere palette to balance out the brightness of my Drop Dead Gorgeous palette. And the other palettes are going back in the makeup drawer. Yes, I almost dropped my makeup. Okay, anyway, so next let's go into brushes. As you know, I don't have a lot of brushes here, which is annoying. Very annoying. And I actually think I misplaced. Actually, I didn't. I'm blind. I'm blind. Okay, so let's start. These brushes over here. These came from Walmart, and I got them as a gift from my aunt-in-law, and I'm not like ungrateful, like thank you for the gift, but also they're not as good as I'd like them to be. Like, they get the job done, they get the makeup on my eye, and they're fine. They're just easily broken. As you guys have seen, I've done makeup videos with these brushes before, and one of them, because there were four, is actually broken, and like, why? But overall, they're like, if you're looking for makeup brushes, I would not get these. These are like holiday packs. I would not buy these. Don't buy these. Don't buy these. But BH Cosmetics. So my sweet mates just got home, by the way. So my BH Cosmetic brushes, I like these, but these are definitely not what I was expecting when I ordered a crease and a blending brush. They're very big, literally the size of my eyelid, which is not the best. I think they are great for blending out color. They're great to use, but I think I would prefer my brushes at home. Can you tell I really miss my at-home makeup? Like, I'm sorry, I really do. So that's kind of my review on the two kinds of brushes I have. I don't think these BH Cosmetic ones are great. I do think if you order like a set of BH Cosmetics brushes, they're actually a little bit better than ordering like individual, because these individuals aren't my favorite compared to the ones I already own. And just don't buy these if you can afford to just walk through the beauty aisle of Walmart, of Target, and just buy the brushes you think you'd need. But as that is said, since I have no other brushes, I will be using all of these. So now, you see, I have a few types of mascara, because as you know, I love my lashes, because I don't wear fake lashes. I'm sorry, Emma. Every time I say Emma, I feel like people think I'm crazy, but I do, like, I'm friends with Emma, and she typically watches, like, some of my videos. It's like, we talk a lot. She's an interesting girl. But anyway, that was, like, unimportant stuff. But anyway, e.l.f. This one, I really like the applicator. So, ooh, wow. So I really like how it's sort of like a hourglass kind of shape, because I feel like it's really nice for my lashes. I particularly like applying this one. This is the one I got when I flew back up here, and I really enjoy using it. It's really nice. But my favorite is this Addictive Cosmetics mascara, which is actually almost out. So it is a normal applicator, but I feel like there's this weird placebo effect of using this applicator, because it literally makes me feel like my lashes get longer when I use them, and not like on one application. I mean, like, after I've used it multiple times, like multiple days, I feel like my lashes somehow magically get longer. I doubt that that's what happens, but that's the feeling I have with this, and that's why I particularly like this one. And so I'm going to be using that one for today. This one over here is Mega Length. It's Wet n Wild. It's good. The applicator is really thin, and I think it's great. I love my mascaras. Like, all three I would highly recommend. They're all very inexpensive price points. They're really nice. I love them. I love my mascaras. Like, love them. I have no complaints. Let's go into eyeliner. So as you know, one of these eyeliners I hate. I hate this e.l.f. eyeliner. I hate it as an eyeliner. I love it as a brow pencil. As a brow pencil, love you, will use you. As an eyeliner, it is the color of my skin. I hate this type of liner applicator. I can't. As an eyeliner, I strongly detest it. As a brow pencil, I think this is a good product. I think it's nice. I think it makes my brows look natural, and I will continue to use it as a brow pencil, not an eyeliner. Now we have our other eyeliner, which I actually do enjoy. I do have my very inexpensive eyeliner somewhere in this drawer that I cannot find, so that's why it's not out here. But that one's also good. You've seen me use it a multitude of times when I'm doing like stencil work on my face. But this one, I got from NYX, and I really like this. I love like these felt tip applicators. I feel like I chose the wrong tip for this one because I typically like the sharp point ones that act more as a pen, more so than these ones that slant, because the ones that slant are more difficult to keep consistent. So if you're a beginner and you want an eyeliner that is felt tip, which is really good, I would recommend making sure it has a point and no angles, no weird shapes, just like a point, because then it's easier because you work with it more so as a pen rather than thinking, oh, this is a weird applicator in my hand that's about to like ruin my whole makeup look. Okay, but I will use this for today because I do like the pigmentation, the product. It's just working with it, sometimes it can get a little bit wonky. And obviously I haven't been using any lip products or concealers that much, but obviously you know I love my BH Cosmetics Studio Pro Concealer. I've been using this for years. It works really well. It covers my under eye bags. It helps outline my brows, you know, when I make my brows actually look decent. This is a great product. I love it. I never color matched. I only did this via looking at the swatches on the website and hoping, and it's worked really well for me. I really like it. What shade am I? If you're similar to me. I'm so bad at this. Oh god. So I am shade 123 if you would like to use this. I highly recommend it. I really do love this. Like love this concealer. And then lastly, I love NYX Butter Gloss. I love NYX Butter Gloss. Like when I got this Butter Gloss, I didn't think I'd love it as much as I do, but this is like my favorite lip gloss ever. When I didn't have to wear a mask, I wore this a lot. It was easy, it was quick, it was nice, it was naturally skin toned, because I have a horrible disposition of buying really pink or really red, and this one fits my skin tone. It looks nice, it makes my lips feel hydrated. They feel dry right now because I haven't been using it, but I thoroughly like this one. Alright, so let's do a whole makeup look with this. This will be very sped up, this will be very quick, and if I do voiceover, then oh my gosh, I did a voiceover. I actually had time to do a voiceover. Shocking. Truly shocking. So I think I'm gonna do my brows and actually use the concealer to show you what I mean in like terms of using a concealer. And unfortunately, neither of these palettes have mirrors. And this is what I mean about mirrors. Like I love palettes with mirrors because I broke a nail, I'm sorry. Because like it's just so much helpful. So we're gonna use Digital Future as my mirror for the day because I don't have my Florida weird mirror with me here. So right, enjoy the time lapse. Oh, for those of you who just came to find out my November favorites and unfavorites, I hope this helped you out. If you want a recap, my favorite eyeliner is the NYX eyeliner right here, and this one is called That's the Point. It's really, really good. As long as you get the proper one that works for you, I think this will be fine. Brow pencil is my e.l.f. eyeliner because I hate this as an eyeliner. And this is the No Budge rectangular eyeliner, retractable eyeliner. And then I love my Studio Pro BH Cosmetics concealer. My favorite palette right now is the Drop Dead Gorgeous palette from BH Cosmetics. My favorite mascara right now is the Indepth Cosmetics, which is an Etsy brand. Support small businesses. And my favorite lip gloss is this NYX Butter Gloss. Is there a shade name to this? Praline, BLG16. And I don't have any favorite brushes at the moment, so as you all can see, when I do my concealer, I try to keep it right here just because I'm thinking about how my mask is going to cover my face, and I don't want to get too much more acne because I've been getting a lot of acne during these times. But I hope you all see what I mean about like my brows look a little bit better when I have concealer around them. It just, I don't know, it helps to draw out your brow and then take concealer around and then draw in your brow again very lightly to just define it a little bit more. I feel like that technique works really great for me when I actually do it. So I recommend to try it out if you struggle with your brows like I do, because I have horrible brows on a daily basis. So today I'm basically wearing like a little bit of a camo number with like a white tank. So I'm thinking we're going to keep this look simple. So we're going to be using yellow. And then we're going to be using like this really nice pinky cashmere color, because I think those two would complement each other very well. So I think we're going to go from light to dark. I think that's just always a really quick, nice look to do. So I have to say, after using the yellow in the Drugstore palette, Ride or Die palette, I literally think there is no other yellow that can compare, because that palette works so quickly on me. Like the yellow, it just like appears. But like palettes like this, even though this is my favorite palette of November, because it is like the best palette I have of all the palettes here, it's still not as amazing as the Drugstore Ride or Die palette in my July video. I'll upload my July favorites if you want to check that out, because I think that fully encompasses my entire collection and choosing from my entire collection. But this is choosing from like my college collection and a very limited number of palettes, you know. I did order some more palettes recently, but those will be coming in a December video when I'm finally home, because what I'm doing is I wanted to review a few bigger brands that creators such as myself can not review as easily. I'm not going to get like those weird rich people palettes, obviously, but I'm talking more so about like ColourPop, which isn't cheap, it isn't expensive. I think it's more expensive than bigger small gurus say. Like I think gurus with like a 200,000 subscribers and things like that say it's like super inexpensive, but then their palettes are like $24-$30 versus me going to BH Cosmetics and getting something like this for like $14, $18. So that's a little thing I have with like bigger creators who aren't like James Charles, but they're still not me with like 400 subscribers. So they can say something that costs $30 is inexpensive, and in the beauty sphere it is, but like also $14-$18, you know. And then there's also indie brands like this, which is like $12. So I definitely think that for me, going into trying out like Juvia's Place, ColourPop, Midas Cosmetics, like those, the ones I do want to start reviewing a little bit more. I don't want to have like too high expectations, and I don't want to say like, oh, these are so blah blah blah, because I'm thinking in terms of my reality of like those palettes that's those gurus would say are like not expensive or inexpensive are actually not very attainable for just like your average shopper who does have a lot of bills or does have very few paychecks and is in college and things like that, and it's like harder to relate to them in a bit of like pricing. But I do think, you know, it's life and everyone has their different ideas of affordability. But I want to start reviewing those kinds of palettes over the month of December. So what I'm trying to do is every time I get paid, trying not to use my entire paycheck on dinner, because obviously I have no kitchen this year, but also like using some of those to buy makeup from these places to try them out. But also I have a very big makeup collection and it's hard to do, because I barely use some of them once I buy them. And I can't even write them off for my taxes, which is what big gurus do. Because big gurus, since like they get paid from YouTube in doing like product placement and things like that, from what I've gathered, hello, I don't make money from YouTube. I think, and I've heard some of them say like, oh, this can be a tax write-off for me, which good for you. Can't relate though, because I buy makeup and it's like if I don't like it I have to figure out ways to use it versus being able to write it off in my taxes. And like So I'm just adding a little bit of red to add some transitionary shade between those two shades. Obviously red is darker than the end color, but like what can I... Oh, the one thing about these reds in the Drop Dead Gorgeous palette is that they really stain your lids because they really are pigmented. Like red is always really pigmented. I think it might... I'm unsure if they're cruelty free because I've heard like companies that aren't vegan like have some sort of bug or something that makes the pigmentation like better. I will in the comments or in the description say if I found out, because I forgot. I used to know this information. Now that I've come to school, my brain's off on off on beauty community things and more on my education and getting my degree. Oh my gosh, this video starts off our whole month of Christmas videos. I think this one's going up on December 2nd. I think December 2nd is the first Wednesday. But that's when it starts with my everyday uploads. I have no idea how I'm gonna do an upload every day of December. I'm struggling with my like twice a week uploads because of school. I might have to really work through Thanksgiving because I can't go home because of my job here on campus, so I might have to like work through Thanksgiving and just like edit, upload, and like pre-schedule a few because I don't know how else I'm gonna do this. All right, so the look is really simple. It's just like a yellow with some red and orange, and yeah. So let's do our eyeliner and our mascara. Oh, I've started doing, that's a nice wing. I've started trying to start doing more makeup inspired by albums. And so far, I've done Ariana Grande. Ooh, this is nice. I've done Ariana Grande. I've done Twice. And I think I have another group coming up soon. Like another group album coming up soon. Oh, Luna. No, did I do a Luna one? I forget. But anyway, I think I might capitalize on, since I have to upload every day of December, doing some of those. If you have any groups you would like me to do, please comment them down below. I already have like girl groups primarily. I don't know if anyone wants me to do boy groups. But I am gonna do a Selena Gomez one for sure, just because I love Selena Gomez. She was one of my favorite idols growing up, and I want to do one of her albums because I think it'd be fun. I could do Revival because it'd be cool to do like a gray, black, and white kind of scheme makeup look. I think that look really cool. Okay, so today's look, very simple. And here you go is a close-up for you. So my lips are like natural. Ignore my acne, but like from here up with concealer and everything like that. So these are my favorite products of the month. I also hope you guys enjoyed me breaking down these products, talking about prices, color, pigmentation. Everything I showed today and have on my face will be linked down below. Ooh, everything on my face today will be linked down below. That's a little smoky glow moment. Smoky Glow is a really nice YouTuber that I like watching. I'll link her channel down below. But yeah, I hope you guys like this look. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please share this video because it would really, really help me out. I'm working towards getting 500 subscribers this month so I can do a giveaway to end off 2020. You know, end it with a positive note. And yeah, I hope you all have a nice day. Bye!